Welcome to the Simon Chardiet Show. We're going to have another go at this. This is like my third attempt to record this show. But I wanted to talk about a couple of guitar players that are my favorites. They're influences on me. The first one, Mickey Baker. Okay, he played on a lot of hit rock and roll records in the 50s. Played on I'm a Hog for You Baby, the Coasters. He played on he played on It's Been a Long Time, Annie Laurie. He played on Please Tell Me by Larry Dales. He played on so many records. Hit Getting Split by Young Jesse. He had Mickey and Sylvia, Love Is Strange, No Good Lover, all that stuff, okay? Huge guy in music. And he wrote this book, Mickey Baker's Complete Course in Jazz Guitar. And there's a volume 1 and volume 2. This is book 1, featuring new harmonic devices and techniques, jazz riffs, breaks, fill-ins, and solos, progressive chord and melody styles, the latest rhythm and blues phases. It says on the cover, hot guitar solos. He's not kidding. Now, the reason why I always try to get my students to practice out of this book or learn this book is if you're a rock and roll guitar player, blues guitar player, and you want to expand your thing, this book will really help you. You must learn to read music, which means I'm going to lose most of you right here, but learn to read music. It's not that hard. On that tip, there's a great book, How to Read Music by Helen Cooper. There's probably about $5. There's probably a How to Read Music thing online for free. But the thing I like about Mickey Baker is everything is very musical. Everything sounds like a little song, a little ditty. They don't sound like a bunch of exercises. You know, some books just hit you over the head with 50 million chords, 50 million scales. I'm like, well, what about, how am I going to use them to make music? Okay, so here's like page 1 of the Mickey Baker book. And might I add, the first part of the book is all chord work. The second part of the book is all solo work. Here's the first part. What I like also is that he gives you 33 chords, gives you 26 chords in the first page, and later in the book he gives you like 6 more. And he probably gives you about 33 or 36 scale runs. They're not really scales, they're arpeggios, which is even cooler because in the 50s, jazz guitar players played straight through the chord changes of the tune. They didn't play over the top of the changes, they played right through them. And I thought that was always a lot cooler because it's more harmonic, it's more, gives you information about the actual tune being played. So here's page 1, all right? That's the first line. Here's the second line. All right, now we're going from the key of G. Now we're going to go to key of C. And then at the end, he's got some takes on a G7th chord, like a couple different takes on it, right? So that's page 1. And then he gets further into the book. Bear with me as I really didn't figure out what page. Here's a few more nice vamp ideas for fill-ins. when you play behind horn players. Alright? So here's like that's one of them, right? Here's another sample right here, alright? So that's an example of some of the chord stuff in his book. And I mean, to this day, I'm 60 now, and I started working on this book when I was 15. And to this day, this is kind of when I'm up there on the bandstand, if I'm working, these are my defaults, like my reflex, my instinct, you know, my reptilian brain just automatically goes to all the stuff I learned from this book. Now we're going to go to the second part of the book. All right, he gives you a bunch of different runs. Like he gives you, these aren't scales, okay? A scale is 8 notes. These are all arpeggios. And then here, he starts off like this, all right? But then, he's got this. This is really hard. It's so hard I just messed it up. Let me try it again. I messed it up, but that's okay because I'm just trying to show you. I'm just trying to show you the exercise. That's better. That's better. That's a diminished chord, right? And then he has, up here he's got run connections, okay? So this would be like over these chords. He has, roll back my tone. Right, so that's how to run changes, how to play through changes. And he has then, you know, he does all kinds of stuff. He does like right here, okay, here's some riffs. So, I mean, that's more of a lot of the stuff that he would play on those 50s records. So, I'm going to tell you, I don't read music super, super great, but I read enough to teach myself something. And when I was about 15 years old, I decided I had to get serious about the guitar. I played, you know, I played in this little school kid bands, and then I played in this band up in Harlem, the Children's Workshop, and the drummer's father managed us, and you know, we played like, this would be like 1973. We played stuff like that, and but I wasn't really, you know, when I was 15, I said, shit, man, I'm getting old. When James Burton was 16, he was on the road with Dale Hawkins playing